Hey guys, my name is Shrish. So I've been using the REALME TV, the 32-inch variant, for a few days now, almost a week. So yeah, this is my full review on the TV. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this. Now the TV, in my opinion, has been built on three primary pillars. The first one being the design, the second one being the display, and the third one being the speakers, which also happens to be the most impressive aspect of the TV. Now starting off with design. Now it's a no-brainer that the design on this TV is actually really stunning. It has this bezel-less design which obviously appeals a lot of people, and it actually makes the TV look a lot more high-end and premium than what actually is. Apart from that, it also has this chin. You don't get an entire bezel-less experience. You do get this chin where you have this Realme branding in the center. Basically on the chin you also do get an added layer of some sort of texture which has the Realme branding, and that looks absolutely stunning. It has, I guess, this metallic finish to it, or brushed metallic finish, and that really looks nice. Overall, the design on the TV is really impressive. It's arguably one of the best TVs in terms of design and looks out there. So if design is a priority for some unknown reason, you can actually look forward to this TV. Talking about the display is actually pretty good. It has this added levels or extra bit of contrast to it, which I know a lot of people are going to like, but for someone like me, if you like a little bit of a balanced overall display experience, then you can actually tune in the contrast. I personally have reduced the contrast to around 30 to 35, and that I think is perfect for me. But again, it's just a thing of personal preference. Along with that, brightness is actually super impressive on the display. It gets like really bright. In fact, in the evening I actually have to manually tune down the brightness of the TV so that it's not like too harsh for the eyes. So in terms of brightness, the overall sharpness, and the display as a whole is really good. In fact, in the price point, I guess this is arguably one of the best displays, if not the best. So yeah, that's under the price of 15,000 rupees. And then there's the speakers, which also in my initial impressions video I boasted quite a lot about. The speakers are really good. The TV has really nice surround sound levels, which actually makes your experience a lot more immersive and actually good to consume media. Even at super high volumes, the audio does not distort at all, which again is nice. Actually, I did not go to very extreme volumes, but I'm gonna do that now for the sake of this video. So just in case you want to know about the audio levels, I'll just tune up the audio or turn up the audio for you guys.
Leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
So as you saw, the audio levels are obviously impressive. Now obviously I cannot replicate the actual audio experience onto a mic. That's not really possible. But yeah, one thing, if you guys take my word for it, the audio experience is really nice. It has dual 24-watt speakers, which again on paper is impressive, but even in practical life, it's actually good. Now the bass is not on the very higher side, so it may turn to be a disadvantage for people who listen to a lot of EDM songs. But yes, it does have a very moderate amount of bass, which I think is really balanced, because if you watch movies on the TV, which you probably will be doing, the vocals or the dialogues are actually crystal clear, and that's because the bass has been tuned in a certain way. So yeah, overall the audio experience has been really impressive for me. So these were the three primary pillars of the TV, and then there are the secondary aspects or secondary pillars, starting with performance. Now the performance on paper, like, it has got a MediaTek chip, and really boasted quite a lot about the TV performance actually, but in real life it's just like any other smart TV in the price point. By default, with the stock settings or with the stock applications, you're not going to see any lags, like very minimal amount of lags. But if you load a lot of applications and games on the TV, you are going to eventually see some lags, some delays while launching applications. If you want to quickly switch from YouTube to Netflix with the buttons on the remote, or if you want to, let's say, switch from your input source, which is HDMI, to the actual smart TV, or the actual interface or Android interface. So that is going to take up a little bit of time or delay, but that is fine for the price, I guess. But the thing is, you don't have very high hopes just because it has a MediaTek processor. That's all I'm trying to say. Performance is decent for the price point. It's okay if you look at the competition. But again, don't be fooled by the marketing just because it has a MediaTek processor. The experience is not going to be like super impressive. The processor might probably be better on paper, but in practical life, no difference at all. And then talking about screencast. So if you want to cast a video or a movie or anything in general that's playing on your smartphone or your tablet or your laptop, if you want to do that, you can do that with the help of Screencast. You just have to play the video that you want to play on the TV on your firstly on your phone, and then you have to just select this option, which is present on almost all the applications. You just have to select the Screencast option, and then you have to select your TV, and then it will start playing onto your TV. Now this experience is really seamless, no issues at all, and I think this is the feature that I probably use a lot because honestly, while there is YouTube application by default on the TV, it just is so unconventional to actually type in or search with the help of your remote. So I use generally my smartphone to cast YouTube videos onto the TV, and I think that works well, no issues at all. But on the other hand, if we talk about screen mirroring, now screen mirroring is not really as good as screencasting. Basically, they are the two branches of the same TV. But the thing that happens with screen mirroring is that when you mirror your mobile device to the TV, it is a lot more laggy, it's a lot more choppy, it has very high latency. So overall, the experience when it comes to screen mirroring is not at all good. In case you are curious, if you want to know how exactly to mirror your Android phone, or if you want to mirror your screen from your mobile device to your TV, you just have to download Google Home application. Once you download that, you just have to select your TV and then cast my screen. After that, whatever is being displayed onto your smartphone, may it be any call log, may it be any application in that case, will be displayed directly onto the TV. Now it comes really handy when it comes to viewing photos on the go. If you want to view your photos, if you want to check out how your photos turned out onto a big screen, that's a very possible scenario, and that I think is the only ideal scenario I can think of, because if you try to play videos using screen mirroring, they are going to be really choppy and laggy, so the media experience is not going to be that much good. In fact, if you also, for some reason, if you want to emulate or simulate gaming experience onto a big screen, again, that is not going to be good. So overall screen mirroring, it's not at all good, and that's obvious for the price point, because I know a lot of TVs have this issue of high latency and lag, but that's nothing we can do. But screencasting, on the other hand, works very well. Now out of the box, the TV comes up with Netflix, YouTube and Prime Video, and all these three applications work extremely well, although for some reason I don't really like the interface on Prime Video. But on the other end, apps like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hotstar have really good interface. In fact, for some reason, if you want to download applications like Airtel Extreme, then you can also do that from the Play Store. No issues at all. Downloading and installing stuff is really easy. Also these third-party applications work well. So in terms of convenience or in terms of OTT platforms, the experience is also nice. No issues at all. Again, no lags, like no major lags. There will be some minor lags, which is fine. So in terms of these platforms, the experience as far as the convenience thing goes is really good. Now Netflix actually supports 1080p. Now in case you're curious as to how exactly does this happen, because the TV is 768p or 1366 into 768, but then how can it play 1080p videos? I guess the TV actually downscales the 1080p footage to 768p. Obviously it is not as good as a standard 1080p panel, but it sort of gets close. It's sharper than the standard 720p footage, and I think overall you can actually watch 1080p videos and they are going to turn out decent. Now I also tried to connect my Bluetooth earphones, which are the Realme Buds Wireless, to the TV. Now initially it simply wasn't ready to pair up for some unknown reason, but then after like few tries, or a bunch of tries actually, I was able to get it working. So yeah, once they were paired and connected, no issues at all. I actually use them while I'm actually watching the TV during night, and it is really convenient to actually watch TV without disturbing the family members. Now I've already spoken enough about the remote in my initial impressions video, just like how well the remote looks. And apart from the looks factor of the remote also has this input source button, so you can actually switch through your input source right away without any issues. So again, that is very convenient and very handy. I don't think any other remote has this input source button. Basically, if you don't have this button, or if you don't have a very handy input source option onto the remote, you have to navigate to the UI or the menu of your TV, and then you will have to change the input source, which, you know, it doesn't make a lot of difference when you hear it for the first time. But you know, if you're someone like me who keeps on switching between HDMI and a TV, then this option or this button on the remote comes in really handy. Now, all these secondary points that I spoke about, they don't make a huge difference in your experience actually, because these secondary things like performance or, you know, accessory link up like Bluetooth and stuff, all of these things actually, you know, they're same on pretty much all the TVs in the price bracket. So there is not a lot of difference, or those are not really the points that you should be looking for when you are going to buy the TV. The points that I think you should be looking for when buying the TV are firstly design, if that matters to you. If that doesn't matter to you, then it's totally fine. Then the display and speakers. Now, in terms of speakers, they're actually really good. Like the TV is actually really impressive, better than most TVs out there in terms of speaker. In terms of display as well, this is by far one of the best display panels in the budget segment in a smart TV that I've seen. So in terms of display and speakers, and even in the design department, Realme has done a great job. Now obviously, if the TV would have been full HD and it would have been priced for somewhere around 15,000-16,000 rupees, I would have been much happier about that. But I get that Realme was trying to directly compete with the Mi TV 4X. So yeah, you know, and I think it's actually a little bit better than the Mi TV 4X in my opinion. So yes, if you ask me which one to prefer, I would go for the Realme TV. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. I hope this video helped you in some way or the other. If it did, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.